Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Mission Snapshot. We're happy that you have joined us again. Hannah is managing the Facebook feed, and so Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Mission Snapshot. We're happy that you have joined us again. Hannah is managing the Facebook feed, and so if you have any comments or questions, just drop them down below and she will respond. And she will be dropping a link or two down below during the show, so please keep an eye out for that. On today's episode, we have Veronica. So today is evening school day.
Yeah.
And where are we doing our stories from today?
So today we are in Thanjavur.
Okay.
And so I put up a map there. You can see it's kind of in the very southern east part of India. And so we're actually just going to talk a little bit about what's in that area first, and then we'll talk about our evening school.
Sure.
It's a very rich with history and historical meaning in that area, and so we just wanted to highlight a couple things there. Most of the places are temples. They're very old, very old buildings, but there's a couple places that are just as significant, but are not places of worship that we wanted to highlight. And one of them is actually a palace.
Oh, wow.
And so this palace, it actually dates back to the 14th century AD. And it is still one of the resident palaces for the Maratha royal family. And so they actually still use this. They have other homes, but this is one that they will frequent. And it's a huge building, and has, spacious halls and lots of intricate decorating. And as you can see from this picture, just the intricacies of how they, decorate the walls and the ceilings. And I mean, it's just gorgeous to go through. And so it's, one of the spots that is just rich with history. It's a wonderful place. And there is a private, royal temple inside that palace.
Oh, okay.
So they don't, so they have their own little space. But I mean, it's just a wonderful, they even have underground tunnels and everything.
Oh,
so very intricate.
Yeah.
And then the other place is actually a library. It's the Saraswati Mahal Library. Hopefully I said that right. And it actually contains some very rare manuscripts that, sorry, I lost my place here. So some very rare documents and manuscripts date back to the medieval period.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of the few places in the world that have documents that old from that period of time.
Wow.
So it's really amazing, and it is open. You can tourists can go in and look through and see part of it, and
it's very ornately decorated. I know that the public libraries I'm used to do not look like this.
No, the ones that we're used to are actually rather plain most of the time. So yeah, you'll see in the Indian culture, a lot of places, if it's somewhere of significance, it is bright colors and beautifully, decorated and ornate. So yeah, that definitely has a lot of flair on the outside there. So yeah, it's just a really neat place to go as well, that you can see the history and how they really care about, where they've come from. And mentioning that there are a lot of temples in the area just kind of shows you that this particular area is very Hindu populated. That is the huge emphasis of this area. So to have an evening school there is very significant and makes a huge impact on the community.
Right. So there we go.
Here we go. So we're going to talk about this evening school. So this one is a little bit different than our others because the area that it's in is actually highly populated by gypsies.
Okay.
And so their culture is a little different than a normal Indian culture. They don't move around as much as what we would consider a gypsy. Like when you say that, we think, oh, people who move every year
Right,
or every
right.
few months.
Right.
They don't move around quite as much anymore, but they still adapt that kind of nomad lifestyle.
Right.
And so because of that, the parents don't really believe in school. They don't believe in their kids going to school.
Right.
They don't think that that's needed. They just kind of teach them their way of life and how they make money, and and so they don't think that education is very important.
Right.
So altogether in the village, there's about, I think they said 35 boys, 34 girls, something in that area.
So about 70, just about 70 young people.
70 kids or so. And they regularly get 45 to 50 kids in the school.
Wow, that's
each
a
night.
high percentage.
So it is. It's very nice to see that. So the kids have been coming to the evening school, and they do offer the same things as our other evening schools do.
Right.
So they offer basic education, help with that, and as well as some spiritual learning and food. So they're offered some, good nutrition, because also gypsy lifestyle, you're not going to get a whole lot of income coming in depending on what you're doing for money. So again, proper nutrition is a very hard thing to get there on your own. So the school provides that for the kids, which is very nice.
Right. So the picture here is of children lining up to get their evening meal.
Yeah. So this is, at the end, they've done their schooling, and now it's time to eat. So they line up with their plates, and they're getting ready to get their good food. So they get a good amount of rice and vegetables and something fresh. And so that helps a lot with their nutrition. And so as the school has been going, it's actually helped change the mindset of the parents a little bit, and help them see how education might actually be a huge benefit to their children. And so, that's a big thing, because it's not just, in other Indian villages, education is important. It may not be offered very readily, but it is important to them. Here, it's not really of any importance, but seeing what their kids are learning and how it's changing them, it's changing the culture that the gypsies would normally have. And so I think that's very significant. I think it's wonderful that it's doing that.
Absolutely. So how is the nutrition that they're getting every night help them? Because the food they're getting at the evening school is different from what they normally eat.
It is different. So, it's helping with just some of their basic needs. So they were, deficient in many areas because the food that they had access to was not high in vitamins or nutrients. And so it's helping, combat the malnutrition, and just making them a healthier group in general, and helping to fight off some disease and sickness. Right.
So here is another picture of the young people, and they're holding something.
They are. So I believe it was a few Christmases ago. I can't remember exactly.
It was just this past Christmas.
It was just this past Christmas. They were actually sent. We were able to get them new backpacks.
Yeah.
So all the students in the school received a new backpack, and I know that doesn't seem like a huge gift to some of us, but to them, they may have never even seen a backpack before, at least not something that was tangible for them. And so, they were very thankful and grateful for what they got, and it was a wonderful gift for them.
Right. So for the children, this is important because this is theirs.
Yes.
And so and they would share it at home, but it's theirs.
Right.
Out of their family, they receive something special, and then this is a way for them to carry their school things back and forth much more easily than it would be in plastic bags or whatnot. So this is really a big deal for them.
Yeah, it was a great thing, and I think also, being that education was not a high priority in their community, in their village, so there was never a need for them to have anything for school supplies. Right. So it's not something their families would think of or provide for them. So for us to do that, for them to be able to have that, and like you said, it's their own bag, that's very important to them.
It is very important. So you mentioned that this was last Christmas, December of 2019, but they've had something more recent
than
that.
Yeah. So we actually found out that even though there's a lockdown and there's all kinds of, as we know, there's crazy stuff happening and people aren't really able to do things as normal, but they were actually able to hold a VBS program just last month. So in the month of May, they had a VBS program, and it actually helped bring in more children and parents who were not involved previously with the evening school.
Wow.
They actually gained more kids and parents getting involved with the church through the VBS program.
That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know how they did it, because
Right.
Thanjavur is not that far from Chennai.
Right.
If you didn't memorize the map, it's not that far, and
Right.
yet they were able to do this, or they did it. They said
And-
the children are important. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah, and and Chennai is one of the heavily locked down areas. They have
Yes.
lots of problems right now, and so I don't know how they. When I read that, I was like, really? I mean, surely not. Did they really do this? But God is blessing even through this
Yes.
lockdown and the
Yes.
hard times they're having over there. There's just been so many wonderful stories coming through
Right.
during this horrible time, and so it's amazing the things that God is doing. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for sharing about Thanjavur. We don't get an opportunity to speak so much about that particular school.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to get the update. And this update came like this week. And
Yeah.
we were very excited because we could quickly do a Mission Snapshot show about it. So we're very, very happy about that. Well, if you're interested in supporting the evening schools, Hannah has put a link down below to our evening school page. If there are other projects that you're interested in, whether they're Bible workers or widow schools or wells or building churches, please take some time and go to our website at jesusforasia.org. You'll see our full list of projects. If you click the donate button, that will take you to our invest page, and you'll see many things there, and we would love to have you partner with us. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. This has been your Mission Snapshot.